Someday you might be the president, someday you might be a star. Someday you might be a homeowner, you might even play guitar. In the between and all the fun, I'll be by your side. I'll love you, 'cause you're a piece of my heart. Whatever you do, wherever you are, no matter the time, the place, near or far, in all the good and all that's hard, I'll love you, 'cause you're a piece of my heart. Someday you might make big mistakes, someday you might break hearts, someday you might just fall in love, you might even drive a car. In the between and all the change, I'll be by your side. I'll love you, 'cause you're a piece of my heart. Whatever you do, wherever you are, no matter the time, the place, near or far, in all the good and all that's hard, I'll love you, 'cause you're a piece of my heart. Someday you might just change the world, I know you're changing mine. Someday you might have a family, don't worry, take your time. In the between and every part, I'll be by your side. I'll love you, 'cause you're a piece of my heart. Whatever you do, wherever you are, no matter the time, the place, near or far, in all the good and all that's hard, I'll love you, 'cause you're a piece of my heart. I'll love you, 'cause you're a piece of my heart. If I'd ever known how you'd forever change my life, I would up and go, I'd walk out of sight. But I'm glad I rearranged from falling apart, because you built me a mosaic, a perfect puzzle to capture my heart. So I promise I'll be there for you. I'll pick you up when you fall. You know I'll be here when you need me to, so you won't have to stand alone.
Just the thought of you, of falling for you, my world turns upside down. Questions of how and would you love me now, and could you hold me in the storm? 'Cause in my mind I would be crazy to let my heart lead this romance. But I promise every day that my heart will be in your hands.
So I promise I'll be there for you. I'll pick you up when you fall. You know I'll be here when you need me to, so you won't have to stand alone. So you won't have to stand alone. And so we start building up from the bottom. We'll keep our heads to the stars, building brightly as we go, changing all of the world we know. We're keeping love in our hearts, our hearts. And so I promise I'll be there for you. I'll pick you up when you fall. You know I'll be here